Welcome to the THRIVERY Podcast, the show that explores elevated living. I'm your host, Jacy Ángelle Smith, and in this community, we engage in conversations to inspire you to flourish in all aspects of your life, because you weren't created to merely survive. You were designed to thrive. Welcome to the THRIVERY Podcast. I am so excited to be here with you today. This episode, oh my goodness, you are in for a treat. You have no idea. So get ready for some joy. It's going to be overflowing. You're going to leave with a smile on your face. I dare you not to. There's no way that you're not going to leave with a warm heart, just a big smile on your face. You will feel inspired. I have been waiting to be with these ladies, and it's just going to be a great conversation. You've probably heard of one of these guests. She's been on the hit Netflix show Love on the Spectrum, and that's just the beginning. That's just the tip of the iceberg for these ladies, because they've been creating, they've been sharing love and spreading joy for a very long time. So I can't wait for you to get to know them. This is going to be a great conversation. Let me read just a little bit about them so that I can introduce them to you today. What's so exciting is that we just had Mother's Day just a few days ago, and I have the honor of having a mother and a daughter on today. So what a thrill that is. It's really exciting. But let me read just a little bit about these two amazing women. I'm so beyond thrilled to have them on the show today. So Callie Truelove and her mom, Tabitha Truelove, are my guests today. And Callie is a radiant light who captured hearts on season 3 of Love on the Spectrum, where she went on dates with Tanner, showcasing her infectious love for life. Born with Williams syndrome, Callie has defied the odds since doctors told her family she wouldn't see her first birthday. Now she's a beacon of love and encouragement, having traveled across the U.S. with her film True Love the Film to raise awareness and touching lives through her family's nonprofit, the True Love Foundation. Callie lives life to the fullest while spreading joy with a heart that sees love everywhere. That's true. Joining her is Tabitha, her biggest advocate, who has shared Callie's journey with the world through social media and advocacy, teaching us all what it means to love deeply and find positivity in every moment. Together, they're a team that reminds us of the power of faith, family, and true love. Join me in welcoming Callie and Tabitha Truelove to the show. Welcome, ladies.
Hi, thank you so much for having us this morning. It is an honor and a thrill to be on such a wonderful podcast with such positive intentions like you have, and we are so thankful to be a part of this. Yes.
Oh, thank you. The honor is mine. Let me tell you, when I saw you on Love on the Spectrum, that's where I first saw you, Callie. And then since I've gotten to follow both of you, you make such a great team, by the way, you two. I love watching you on social media, but I immediately was drawn to you. You were such a light. You just stood out. You were such a light. And, since then I've learned way more about you, and I'm excited to share with my listeners more about you today. But I got to spend some time a few weeks ago with both of you, getting to know you over Zoom and just, kind of catching up, and you had me laughing, you had me in tears. I feel like, Callie, with you, I don't know if you ever meet a stranger, but I do know that you have a gift of making everyone feel like family. You have a way of loving that is unmatched, and it's amazing. It's inspiring. And so I'm so honored to be here with both of you. And your last name, Truelove, it could not be more fitting. I mean, come on.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for really spreading love around the world. And like I said, we get to see more of that. I'm following you everywhere on social media. And at the end, I want to share all of the ways that people can follow you. They probably already are, but if they need to know how, we're going to share that. But Callie, I want to start with you. We're going to have this great conversation, all three of us, and kind of go back and forth, and it's going to be great. But I want to start with you. And I want to ask you, since your love and your joy is so contagious, I can't help but smiling. I don't think anyone can help but smile when they're around you or they see you. And I just want to kick things off with something fun. I want to know, what's the song right now that because I've seen you on social media, you shared your moves and your dance moves, and even on your date with Tanner on the show, you were able to dance. But what is a song right now that just has you feeling happy and alive and you like to sing and dance to?
Oh my gosh. So first of all, I am a pastor's daughter, so I love listening to the goodness of God because God really has been so good to me. And
Wow.
he has showed me so many things throughout my life. So I love singing that song. I sing it in church all the time. And then I love all genres of music. I listen to
Mm-hmm.
rap, country, jazz. I mean, everything. I just love it so much. And Goodness of God is one of my go-tos. And then I'm really obsessed with TikTok dances here lately.
Oh yeah. Which
Yeah,
ones? Are there certain ones?
all of them. They are just so much fun to be able to dance to. And I like watching other TikTokers do it first so I can learn the dance moves. And then I learn the dance moves and do the dance. Now, mom here is still learning how to use TikTok, so I'm able to
Me
do
too.
those dances. And so we both got more learning to do because we're new to the game of TikTok here. So we got more to
Man, me
learn, but I love
both.
TikTok so much.
Yeah, I'm learning to love it too. I'm pretty new to it as well. And so I mean, you can just there's so much on TikTok, right? I mean, you could scroll for
Yeah.
hours and there are so many trends and things and dances like that. So
Yeah.
anyway, I love that. I actually love The Goodness of God. That is a great song. So it's a good one. But I love that you love all genres. I can see you dancing and singing to anything pretty much. Anything that
And
gets you.
most people don't know this about Williams syndrome people, but it's kind of a genetic thing. Whenever you have Williams syndrome, you are obsessed with music and dancing, and it just comes naturally to us.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. So what does it feel like to you? Does it make you happy? I mean, it does for me, but what does it feel like for you to sing and dance?
It makes me feel really good, and I'm going to sit and watch other people do it first, and then I build up the confidence to do it. But I really love, and I love dancing, and I love singing. I feel like it gives me a workout because
Hmm.
regular workouts are boring, where you have to lift up weights and everything.
Yes.
And dance is a wonderful way to be able to lose weight, but in a fun way. And my doctor actually gets mad at me for losing weight. She's like,
Mm.
you need to be gaining instead of losing. I'm like, well, I feel like I should be losing.
I want my doctor to tell me that.
Me too. And so I keep on doing it, even though she tells me not to.
Wow, that's incredible. If I'm being honest, I don't love to go to the gym and lift weights and do all the things. I
Me either.
just
I'm more of a
don't.
Zumba person.
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Absolutely. Well, Callie, I know that you and your mom make a great team. And Tabitha, I want to talk to you about the team that the two of you are because when I think of Callie, I hear your voice either in the background or you two laughing like the other day when you went live and y'all had me laughing. Y'all were giggling and just getting ready. It's just the small things and the little things that you find so much joy in that just it makes you appreciate all of those things in life. And I love how you two collaborate. You make a dynamic duo. And
Thank
I want to
you.
know, absolutely, I want to know if there's a moment, I'm sure there are many. This is probably a hard question to answer, but is there a particular time you're behind the camera, videoing Callie for social media, doing something and it makes you laugh still or it warms your heart. It's just something that you think about. And it's like, that's one of my most favorite times that I've captured her on video. Is there something that stands out to you?
I was trying to think, and when I was thinking of, moments that stand out to me, one of the moments, a funny moment, was during COVID. Callie, had a hard time with that because, not being able to get out and be around people. And
Yeah.
so we started doing like a live every day. And so we
It
were,
started off on every Friday.
yes.
Okay.
So yeah, right. You're right. Every Friday. But we were outside and we were, just talking and this is like absolutely crazy, but we were talking about eyebrows and we were talking about getting our eyebrows waxed. And so we were on the porch swing and we were laughing so hard because I think I had tried to wax my own eyebrow and took half of it off. And we laughed so hard about just craziness of an eyebrow. But that moment stood out to me because it was a hard time,
Yeah.
but it was a time that, even though through that hard time, Callie found positive in that, and we become closer. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, and you started appreciating things more because you
Right.
didn't have those things. And then it just as far as it just like the carpenter bees outside, we would laugh about the carpenter bees flying in our face, and I remember just sitting there thinking how much joy in that hard time, but we were still finding joy that we took for granted to begin with.
Wow.
And so,
And then not to mention on top of that, my first service dog had passed away
Right.
during COVID. I was
yeah,
dealing with depression and all of that
Right.
at the same time
right,
that COVID was
Yeah.
going on. So I would just lock myself up in my bedroom
right.
and
Wow.
cry for days and days and days.
Yes.
And then that eyebrow
Yeah.
whole situation brought me out of it.
But
Give us the eyebrow.
oh yeah, and just things that I see her do and say, and really all of them I can't really like say which one, but all of them, because when I see her doing that, and when I see her on live or making a video or whatever she's doing, really whatever she's doing, I know she's doing what God called her to do.
Yeah.
And she's just, all of them blesses my heart. And it just seeing her do what God has called her to do and doing it with such passion and with such love. I can't really say one of them, but one of the funniest ones was the eyebrow.
That is hilarious. And you're right. I mean, COVID was hard. It was
Yeah.
isolating. And so that's so interesting that you found that way. I didn't realize that's when it started. And, to kind of help heal your heart and
Yes.
also to get you
Yes.
out there.
Well, we had started her social media on Facebook in 2014 whenever she had open heart surgery. We wanted, we had a lot of friends and family, church families that we had met in other states. So we did it so that we could have other people, praying for her. And so
Yeah.
that's how it started. It was in 2014, but then when COVID, COVID came along, Callie was just, she loved being around people. She loved being out. And with us being stuck in the house and not being able to go out, it was really hard. And then, like she said, her service dog was sick and passed away also. But that gave her a way that she could still interact with people. She did shout outs, like she would do little videos every day, but she loved interacting with people. So we were like, okay, let's just try this. And then we started doing a daily devotion, like on Fridays, we would do a daily devotion. And because, there was a lot of people hurting in that time.
Yes, for sure.
And so we started doing that, and then it just started going into, we started doing it multiple times, and then we started doing it every day. And it just, it just snowballed into that. So, but seeing her do what I know she's called to do is I can't explain it. It just warms my heart. So, yeah.
Absolutely. She's a natural. I mean, you can see that. That's so amazing that you found this outlet and this way to cultivate that and help her, give her this platform in which to do that. And so that's where this comes from. You're not new to this. You're not new to this at all. You've been at this for years, girl.
I sure have. And I believe that Mom is right. Like, me and my mom were best friends ever since I came out of the wounds. And I feel like if it was not for God and my mom and dad raising me right, I would not be this way like I am. feel like I'd be the most miserable person in the world if I didn't have a family who loved me and cared about me. So I just gotta shout out them, and not a lot of people are close to their parents, and I'm really close to my parents.
That's
I love you.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful for what God, I say it all the time, and I remind myself, I'm not thankful for the struggles that she has and the things that she's had to go through in her life. But I'm so thankful for what God has shown me through her life, and the things that he's taught me, shown me. It's just amazing. And I wish that I could open my heart and just like let it all flow out, but it's hard to put into words. But she's taught me and shown me so much about life and about the things that I've taken for granted, and the things that even like through COVID, we have a very close family. We have 3 other daughters and son-in-laws and 10 grandkids, and we're all very close, and we see each other, if not every day, every other day. But then, when you couldn't be together, it was, I took those moments that we did have for granted because we were together. And then when we couldn't be together, you really appreciate things. So, it's taught me to, and I felt this every day, but it's taught me to really be in that moment and really soak up everything that I can, and the moments that you do have, that you really take that time to really soak it all up and to make those memories. So
that's so good. I think about what Callie was just saying about I wouldn't be who I am today without my parents. And I just have to say that I agree with you, Callie. It's quite evident that you have amazing parents, but also family around you that I know family is huge to you. It's a big, big
Yes,
thing.
it's one of the biggest priorities in my life besides the Lord himself. And I love my family so much. They've taught me so much in my life, and just being able to have nieces and nephews who look up to me and who are going to take over for me whenever I'm gone really gives me motivation to be that good example for them, so that they'll have somebody to look up to and everything. And it was really funny because my niece decided to prank me on Wednesday.
Oh, really? What did they do?
They called me and said they were so mad at me. And I'm like, well, I know I did. I did go to Crumble Cookie on Tuesday night. Without them.
Yeah.
So I thought that's what it was. And then they wrote me a note saying they went home because they were so mad at me, and I busted out crying. And all of a sudden, they all ran out and gave me hugs and kisses and said, "Aunt Callie, we could never be mad at you."
No way. No way.
Yes.
That's so cute that they did that.
Oh my gosh, I was so mad. I was in tears and I was crying hysterically, almost ran in my bedroom. And then this is what they did. And then they decided to hit me with a scavenger hunt after that. I'm like tired from crying after.
That's
They
so
love
much
Aunt
fun.
Callie.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Do they know, they see you on TV, or have they seen your movie? We'll talk about all that in a minute.
Yes.
So they've seen all of it. They know about all of that.
Yes. They are my biggest fans.
I'm sure.
They support me so much.
Yeah.
And they supported me in my darkest hours of my life. They were all there for me when I had open heart surgery. And so it's just amazing to have such a family unit.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm gonna be taken good care of whenever something happens to mom and dad. And so I know I have nothing to worry about after they're gone. But I'll still miss them. But while they're here, I'm just so thankful to have such a big family unit who will take such good care of me as I age and as I get older.
That's right.
And as I face new trials and tribulations as I'm growing up and getting older. I'll be 22 this year. And just so thankful for what all God has brought me through and what he's done for me and what all he'll bring me through in the future. It's God has been beyond good to me. And I ain't ashamed to say it no matter where I go. And I'm just so thankful for all the blessings he's given me in my life.
That's right.
Especially my family and friends that has stood by my side through so much.
Yeah. Family is important. Family is huge. And I can tell, I know that you have a wonderful family, people that
Thank
support
you so much.
And you are a part of that. You are part of that wonderful family. And I know they feel the same way about you. You're leading such a great example for those younger ones, for sure.
I seriously couldn't have asked for a better family. I'm being so honest. Like, I feel like God knew what he was doing from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's shift gears into how I came to know you and how I came to love you. This was how I first learned about you, was that Netflix hit Love on the Spectrum season 3. Oh my goodness. When you came onto the scene, onto the screen, I should say, you were so natural and you were so welcoming and there was just a light. You shine so brightly. And it was so evident on this date, or the dates that you had, plural, more than one, dates that you had with Tanner. And I just want to know, I know you shared this with me when we talked before, but share with the listeners, what was it like for you to find out that you were going to be on the show, and not just be on the show, but you were going to be going out on a date with Tanner? What was that like for you?
So I have to admit, I might have cheated, but that was before I knew about Tanner. I might have watched his first season on the Spectrum before I knew that it would be him that I went on the date on. And I had no earthly idea about this, but they have been begging me for months to
they had reached out.
They had reached out
Oh,
for
okay.
begging my mom to let me answer the email.
Uh-huh.
She thought it was a joke.
Right.
And then my producer reaches out to me and he's like, there's a show called Love on the Spectrum and they really want you. And so we filmed last year and I found out that it was going to be Tanner from a few Zoom calls we did, because whenever they first reach out to you, they do multiple Zoom calls leading up to the month that they figure out when the show is going to come out. And see, I forgot all about filming the show because I thought there's no way. There's absolutely no way. I'm an amateur. I don't know what I'm doing or anything like that. Well, they keep it on the real hush hush. They wait until the week before it comes out to tell you you're going to be on there.
Really?
And I was terrified whenever they told me I was going to be on there, because I'm like, what did I say? What did I do? How did I look? How did I act? Like,
so how was it when you first met Tanner?
It was amazing. All the fears and worries of him being a stranger and not knowing what could have unfolded, because I know that things could have went wrong, but they went so right, and I'm so thankful.
They did.
I love him so much. He's my best friend, and I love spending time with him. And we actually spent time together yesterday, which was so amazing.
I saw that. Tell us what you did.
So we went to Wild Wings and Brewster's, and then he took me down to a lake at his apartments where he stays at, and we just walked around, and it was so much fun. So much fun, and I love getting to text him and talk to him. And you know how there's always such a thing as butterflies in your stomach?
Oh, yes.
I had them all the way there yesterday.
Did you?
Yes, I had them all the way there. Like, I'm like, I get so nervous every time I see him in person. I don't know what it is, but like, I just get this bump, bump, bump. My heart starts beating really fast and I get nervous and not sure what that means, but I love him to death and he will always be a part of our family no matter what.
Right. Absolutely.
That's precious.
Absolutely.
It's really precious. So, what's been one of your favorite memories of spending time with Tanner so far? Because I know that you guys will have plenty more ahead, but what's so far something that sticks out that you really enjoyed?
Oh my gosh, what is there not to enjoy about him? He's just like me. I always say he's the male version of me
It's like
because
he's in a pod.
he acts like me, he talks like me, he gets on such a high like me whenever he knows something exciting is going to happen.
Yep. So
And
what's one memory that stands out that when you were with Tanner, that something that,
oh my gosh. So whenever we were filming in the restaurant and he said, "You're so smoking hot,"
Oh,
I wasn't expecting that. That was like crazy.
that was amazing. I remember watching that and I gasped and I squealed and I'm like, and then your reaction to it was so great. Oh, that was amazing.
I literally had took a sip of a drink of the Arnold Palmer that I had, which is tea and lemonade, and I was pretty sure I spit that all over the place whenever he said that.
oh my
I
goodness.
would have done the same thing. Nobody expected that. And not
No,
only
not
that, but
even.
I loved how you responded when he asked if he could kiss you.
Thank you. Dad said that's his favorite moment too.
It is just
Mom
this.
always reenact that.
Yeah, we reenact it right here.
Dad
Yeah,
always
just
says,
right here.
"You want to kiss?" And Mama goes, "I don't know."
Uh,
And then Mama says, "What do you think?" And he goes, yes,
Right here.
right here."
that's the best. That was so good. What a lady you are.
It
I
was
love how you just,
precious.
yeah, it was
Yes,
precious.
it was.
So precious.
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, if Tanner is listening, do you have any shout outs for him right now? What do you want to say to him?
Just thank you for changing my life and thank the team at Love on the Spectrum for reaching out to me and asking me to be a part of something that is just beyond me. It's incredible of how many people love and support us. And we just appreciate that so much. Tanner really is the best. He has a heart of gold that's even bigger than mine, I believe, and just he just has something that is so special that whenever you meet him you cannot forget him. Like, he leaves such an impact on your life, and so much so that not even the producers were expecting him to call me smoking hot. We were all bent over double laughing after, and it was just it. Tanner's incredible. The cast of Love on the Spectrum is incredible. The all of the thoughts and the things they do to prepare you for it, and all the thought that goes behind it.
Right.
And it was really one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. It was incredible, and it's left such a big impact in my life. And a lot of people tell me that me and Tanner were their favorites on the
Yes.
show, and just to be able to hear people say that about us is just incredible, because everybody did a good job, and I feel like everybody deserves like a golden medal or an Emmy or something.
We
Like,
do.
it's a team effort, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, it's I know it's not easy because you have to pre-pick the places, pre-pick the people, make
Lot
sure
goes into
make sure, and keep in mind, my granny was terminally sick whenever we were filming this, and so we would have to leave her and get somebody to watch her while we were gone and doing it. And I just feel like it's what I needed at the time. I feel like I was in a low spot again with my granny going through whatever she was going through. And that just gave me 2 days of filming that I could just relax and not have to worry about anything.
Right.
And it was just so amazing. And like I said, Taylor it has made such a big impact on my life. And I just cannot wait to spend more time with them and see where this goes.
Right.
You never know where things could go. So I'm excited to spend more time with them. And we have such a best friend bond.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I just want it to keep growing.
Right.
Yes. Well, I think you just answered my next question because I see even when I'm on social media, people are asking, even I think we've all heard you sort of say what you are, you and Tanner, but I just want to give you this opportunity to reiterate or say whatever you want to say. But people keep asking, are you and Tanner friends? Are you still dating? What would you say? How would you answer that question to clear
Well,
it all up?
we have been on a few more dates, but right now we're best friends, but you never know where things could go. So we're just taking it one step at a time and seeing where things go.
I like that.
Mama always told me it's not good to rush into anything. It's good to take it slow and just go with the flow. So that's what we're doing.
That's right.
That's great advice. Great advice. Good mama advice right there.
Gotta
Well,
start
thank
as
you.
friends. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all are
Yeah.
great friends.
Let
You're
it
two
build.
peas in a pod. I love that t-shirt
Right.
that he made,
Right.
right? It's so
Yes.
great.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Tabitha, I want to know from you. That's Callie's experience. But when you found out about her potentially being on the show or when they were emailing you, what were your initial thoughts? And, you know, how did you feel about that, having your baby go on this show? What was it like for you?
So at first when they reached out to me, I read the emails and in my mind, I'll be honest, I had never watched the show. So in my mind, it was completely different than what I thought it was. And so whenever, I had asked Callie and I had asked my older girls, have you ever watched Love on the Spectrum? And they're like, oh my gosh, yes. Have you never watched it? And I'm like, no. And so Callie had already, she had watched it. And so I thought, okay, I'll reach out, back out, or answer one of the emails. And so when I did, and we talked to them, I I was excited, but I still had a little bit of reservation.
Yeah.
But then I started really like sitting down and really thinking about it. And in the day and time that we live in, it's hard. It's hard to and I'll be honest, it was even hard with our older girls to trust, to trust somebody to go with our kids or to, and dating and all that. It's just it's hard for I
Yes.
mean, as a mother, and I it's just a different world. So anyway, so whenever I started thinking about Callie and thinking about Love on the Spectrum and thinking about the other individuals with special needs, I started thinking about, especially like Callie, she loves love and she always has. I mean, always loves love. She loves that girlfriend, boyfriend relationship. She loves the thought of, I mean, when she was little, everybody was her boyfriend. And when you go to a Williams syndrome convention or a walk, every one of them will come up to you and say, will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my boyfriend? It is just absolutely precious. I mean, precious. And it's all so pure, so innocent, and so, I mean, just amazing. And so I started thinking about, Callie is getting older and I want her to have that relationship. I want her to have that chance to have that relationship.
Right.
But I wanted it to be in a safe environment. I wanted it to be, and some people will say, well, you wanted her first date to be out there where everybody can see it. And not necessarily, but yes, also because it also gives hope to other people.
Right.
And so I'm gonna cry. But just because they have special needs, just because they do things different than we do, and just because their relationships may be different than what my relationship is or what her sister's relationship is. And I know I've seen her whenever one of her sisters got married, that I could see that she wanted that, even when she was really young, she wants that. And when I say a relationship, I'm talking about just somebody to share life with,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
and we can look at relationships in so many different aspects and ways, but it's really, when it comes down to it, everything else aside, it's just something, it's a relationship to share life with somebody. Is it getting married? Is it just, having that somebody that you can go and spend a day with and then come home? I don't know what that is, but this Love on the Spectrum gave her an opportunity to meet an amazing young man
Yes.
that we would have never met otherwise. And I mean, it literally blessed my heart in so many ways. And to see the pureness and the pure joy
Yeah.
and the innocence of that relationship and that connection that they had, I feel like it's what we all need to see, because I feel like sometimes we get lost in what a relationship really is. And it's really is, I told Callie, it's about being best friends. It's about meeting somebody that you connect to and that you enjoy spending time with. And when, that person is not around, that you long to spend time with them. And I could not have asked for anything or anybody any better. And to see her enjoy that and be able to go and be herself and just be, I don't know, just be happy and have that experience. I can't put into words what it meant. And
I
I'm
never ever will forget the first time I met him.
right.
It was just like,
It was, yeah.
it was just like,
Yeah. And
fireworks.
it was just like fireworks.
Okay. Right off the bat, you felt that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right off the bat, I loved him from the first second I saw him, and
Mhm.
he was just so kind and so
Mhm.
sweet, and he asked for my permission before he did anything,
Right.
which is very nice because some people will just rush into it,
Mhm.
but he wanted my permission before he said or did anything,
Right.
and it was just nice to have a gentleman.
That's
He's
exactly right.
such
He
a
is a
gentleman.
gentleman, and he's just precious, absolutely precious.
Yes.
So it was hard at first to, you know, say yes, but then I just had a peace about it, and I'm thankful that I did, because I want her, to have those experiences in life. I want her to be able to live her life to the fullest, and that's one thing that she's always loved is love, and wanted, to have a boyfriend. So, it's I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that, that it not only did it help me, but I know that, seeing these individuals that are on the spectrum, and the individuals that have the special needs, you can have that too,
That's
and
right.
I've always told Callie, I said, everybody needs help, everybody.
Yes.
And, we all do things different. And just because you are labeled with a disability, it doesn't define who you are or what you can and cannot do. You
That's
may do
right.
things a little bit differently, but it doesn't make you, in this area where everybody else is over here, you can do it. You may do it differently, and you may need a little bit more help. And so, I'm excited to see where things go. And, we've always said we want Callie to live her life to the fullest. And so, if it's with Tanner, I would be so happy and just overjoyed, because, we love him, and
We're just a lot.
my kids have not met him other than just like on a FaceTime. But, he will forever be in our family, regardless, whatever it is. And, but he's just a joy, and I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for Love on the Spectrum, and thankful for the opportunity for Callie to be able to do this, and to, give hope other families and to other individuals with whatever disability that you have. So.
And not a lot of people probably knows this about me, but I love so much that my favorite holiday is Valentine's Day.
Is it really? I would have guessed Christmas. I'm glad you shared that. I learned something new. Now I get it, though. I can totally see that. And you see hearts everywhere. I wore my heart just for you.
Aww.
My heart necklace.
So
But
did
I saw, do you have one? Oh, you do
Yep.
too. I like yours. That's a pretty necklace.
Thank you.
You saw one yesterday. I saw the picture. You even found one. Was it a concrete floor you saw it in?
Yes.
Goodness. You see them everywhere, everywhere. I love that. I love that you have eyes to see them
Thank you so
everywhere.
much.
Yeah. And thank you for saying yes to the opportunity to be on the show. And Tabitha, just thank you for your transparency about that, because I think any mom can understand that, and then especially allowing your family to be on the show in a way that, it allows you have to be vulnerable, you have to be authentic, you have to be willing to do that, and doing it because of the reasons that you said, because what I was thinking when you were saying it was absolutely to bring hope to people who may not think that they have a chance for that, or that's not for them. And that can be people with disabilities or not. Anyone can feel that way, but just allowing Callie to go on, and when I watch them, it's so true what you ladies are saying. I mean, you are two peas in a pot, or a pod, however you want to say it, but it's so true. You have so many similarities, but he is a Southern gentleman and you are a Southern lady. And I just love watching just how he treated you and just how you held and carried yourself. It was just beautiful. And I'm just excited that we got to see that, because I too am watching everything and I'm thinking, this is so pure. It warms my heart how pure this is. This right here is pure, and we don't get to see this much anymore. And so
You're right. Yeah.
thank you for allowing us to do that, and just being yourself, Callie, just
Yes,
allowing us to see who you are.
thank you so much. I am so thankful that I did it, and they are already talking about season 4 now. Whether me and Tanner will be in there or not, I don't know. But if not, I am so pleased with just being able to go on season 3. That would be enough for me if they didn't reach out to me again. And I'm so thankful for that opportunity. And I had to say I'm thankful for my mom and dad for agreeing to let me do it, because it did give me a chance at something I never did before. So it was wonderful to be able to go on a day at the lighthouse. It was so good. Oh my gosh, the food was so good.
Was it? Yeah. It looked good. And you're showing us how to love, really. That's what you're doing. You're showing us how to love.
I appreciate that so much.
Absolutely. Well, you have been out there in the world, like I said earlier. You've been doing this a while, and I want to talk about. I got to watch this, by the way, and I want listeners to watch it. You will be so inspired. It's such a beautiful film. But let's talk about your film, True Love, the film. I want to tell everyone about it, but you got to travel across the United States and share your story and raise awareness for Williams syndrome. And guess what? It is Williams Syndrome Awareness Month right now. So we're going to talk all about that. But I just want to know what an incredible journey that you were able to go across the country and meet up with other people who share in the same syndrome and get to talk to them and love on them. And you got to meet old friends and see new friends. And what was your favorite thing about making this film?
Oh my gosh, everything. I loved having my own tour bus for the first time. Like, that was incredible.
I bet.
Like, they literally pulled it up in the front yard, and I'm like, what is that thing? Anyways. I would have to say everything, because the whole experience just changed my life in ways that I never thought was possible. It won 6 awards, and it was just incredible and one of them was actually the Beverly Hills Film Festival.
Nice.
And that's one of the biggest ones, I
Mhm.
believe. And so
Mhm.
that was really cool to be able to have such a big impact on people like that and have so many people to watch it. It's just incredible. And it's really been such a blessing to have done something like that, and hopefully to one day be able to do another one and be able to have a second chance at meeting other people,
Mhm.
which I meet people through my foundation, but I would love to be able to have a chance to have other people behind the cameras and behind TV screens like I was. It was incredible, and there's so many other people they could have chose from. I mean, we got Alexandria, we got so many other people
Represent Williams syndrome.
who was so much more worthy of it than I was. So I just feel so blessed to have had that chance
Yeah.
to be able to do my people justice.
There
You
you go.
definitely did that. I loved every minute of it. I loved that tour bus. That was such a beautiful tour bus.
Thank you.
Goodness. And
Mhm.
how did this come about? How did this film project come about? Was it something that you dreamed up? Or, yeah, just tell us how it happened.
Well, I had dreams about doing big things in my life, but this actually happened from an interview that I did for YouTube with this guy called Chris Ulmer from Special Books by Special Kids SBSK.
Mhm.
And the producer saw it.
Wow.
And they reached out to me and said, there's something special about this girl. We want her to do a film.
And your last name being
and my
Truelove.
last name being
They
Truelove.
They said that the way she loved love and the way she loved her life, and then wow, her last name just happens to be Truelove. So
They said, we
Amazing.
got something here. We got to do something about this.
That's right.
yeah.
And so they came and did a pilot
Mhm.
and did a few things.
Mhm.
And then COVID happened and shut us down
Mhm.
for so long. And then when we finally decided to get back on the road, they decided to kick it up a notch with a tour bus.
Yeah, they did. They did kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
Which it was not my idea, it was theirs.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool because it was actually Taylor Swift and Dan and Shay's bus.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, excuse me. That is a big deal. How was it? Was it beautiful, as beautiful inside as it was outside?
It was gorgeous.
beautiful.
They had True Love the film and like this pink camo.
Mhm,
It was
with hearts.
with hearts.
Mhm.
It was so beautiful. And then, oh my gosh, so I'm obsessed with tattoos. And so our bus driver
Oh, yeah.
didn't show me that he had a tattoo until the end,
About midway.
midway.
Okay.
Well, because you kept seeing hearts along the way.
Because I kept seeing hearts along the way.
Yeah.
And
he said, Callie, I have to show you something. He goes, I've been hearing you talk about seeing hearts. And he raised up his shirt sleeve and he had a heart tattoo
No
on his
way.
arm. And we
Yeah.
were like, well, you are meant to drive this bus.
Absolutely. He was meant to. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I called him
Yeah.
Casper, the friendly bus driver.
Yeah. His name was Casper. So she named him Casper, the friendly bus driver.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. That's so funny. Well, how did it feel to, I don't know, just to get out and know that your story was touching so many people? How'd that
It
feel?
was so wonderful. It literally felt like a 2-week vacation. It was so much fun to be able to go to these houses and apartments and meet these people and to be able to give them a chance to be able to have the opportunity to share
Tell
their
their story.
stories, which we felt like really needed to be shared.
Right.
And everybody has a voice and everybody needs a chance to have their voices heard. And so I felt like that was a good opportunity to have my community's voice heard by having not just me, but other people be able to have that experience and opportunity to share their story,
Right.
which has really touched me.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how many times you watch it, you learn something new.
That's true.
Mhm. I can see that. I can see that. It was so well done. And I know that that's just the beginning for you. I can see more ahead for you. I can see another film or series or something. They definitely did see something in you. It's very obvious. It's very easy to see. So that's a
Thank you
great
so
dream to have.
much.
Yeah, absolutely. What about for you, Tabitha? We got to see a little bit more glimpse into your family's journey with Callie and her diagnosis. And, um, just the doctor said, as we learned earlier, doctor said that she wouldn't make it to her first birthday. And we got to hear a little bit about that. How has Callie's story in this film impacted you as her mom, being able to watch her and see her just light up and in her element, if you will, and just seeing how this film came together? What's your takeaway from it?
Um, Seeing her again, like what I said a while ago, is seeing her do what God's called her to do. Whenever just a little bit about Callie, when she was 2 months old, we had no idea that she had Williams syndrome. We thought she was healthy, fine. And at 2 months old, we were told that she had her aorta was really bad, and the doctors told us to bring her home and spend every moment like it's the last. And so, at that moment, Keith and I decided, no matter what, we were going to give her the best life that we could, and that we wanted her to, whatever it took for us to give her that life, even if we had to tote her. That was one of the things we said the rest of her life. We wanted to do whatever we could to help Callie to do whatever, as long as God would let us just like keep her. It took me a long time to realize that I had to want God's will in Callie's life. And I had to pray that, and I had to mean it, because God knows what's in our heart. It doesn't, we can say words all day long, and we can fake it, and we can, but God knows what's in our heart. So it took me a long time to pray for God's will to be done in Callie's life, but also mean it, because I knew what it could be. And so, seeing her, we have amazing doctors, and I believe that God put every doctor that we have in our lives, and Callie would not be where she is today if it wasn't for the doctors. But only God knows what our future holds and what her future is. And I just, we decided it did not matter what we did, what we had to do to have her to live the fullest life possible. If it was 6 months, if it was a year, if it was 5 years, whatever. So we just decided we weren't going to look at her disability or what they've labeled her as. We were just going to live life and cherish every moment. And so, looking back and then seeing where God has brought her, and then seeing her be able to do what God called her to do, is, I can't even put it into words. And to see her just not even, I don't mean not putting effort into it, but being so free at doing it, it just blessed my heart. And meeting the families, I know whenever we first got the diagnosis of Williams syndrome, that we knew nobody. Our doctors didn't know anything about it. And being able to go and meet others with Williams syndrome, younger and older, and it gave us hope. It gave us, like, it almost lifted some burdens that we had, to see, where she might be in the future. And then it was wonderful to see the smaller ones where they are, and to see the similarities, and just to see Callie interact.
Yeah.
And as Callie says, be with her people.
Right.
It's just it's unexplainable. And I'm thankful that, these people reached out to us, and that God gave us peace about it. And then to be able to see God's plan unfold is, just amazing. And we always knew that Callie loved people from young, from very young. She just had this this, I can't even explain it, this love for people that was unexplainable, and that she could see when people needed love and needed just an encouraging word. And our girls, our other girls, they've always had love for people, growing up being a pastor's daughters, and our family has always, I say, and I'm not in a bragging way, but have always loved people and always wanted to be a help and to shine God's light. But I think God was preparing us all these years to where we are right now. And he knew we were going to have Callie, and he knew that this was where we would be. And it's amazing that, to see the opportunities that she has, and the families that we met on our journey. It was just, I know God put them right in our path that we needed.
Yes, and our filming crew, and
yes, our filming crew,
the whole team. We just all became family, and all the cameramen, the sound guys, the editing guys, they all stayed on the bus with us. And my hair and makeup lady and my stylist lady, they all stayed on the bus with me for the 2 weeks while we was traveling and stuff, and we just all became family. I'd stay up late with them, and we would talk and play music and sing and dance on the bus, and it was just amazing to have that family unit.
Right. That's exactly
with the people we had just met.
Right. Yes. And you go and you think, you want to be a blessing to the ones that God puts in your life, and you want to be a blessing and do justice for what they are giving you the opportunity to do, but they will never know what a blessing that they were to us, and the blessings that we got along the way is it's just, you can't even explain it.
We got blessed beyond measure with our team and our film crew, and all the families and the families, and the countless hours that they all stayed up late at night editing everything and fixing everything, and countless mornings they woke up early to be able to go pre-film the spots that they chose and everything.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot that goes into it, and all these famous movie stars make it look so easy, but it's not.
You're a famous movie star. Are you kidding me?
I enjoyed every second.
Oh, she loves it.
I bet you did. I bet you did. It sounds so fun. And just what you were describing about every part of the crew, and everyone was a part, on the bus, and they were like family. And I remember our first conversation. In that conversation, you said to me, we're family. And the words aren't just words. Like, you have a gift in really making people feel that there's such an authenticity. It's real. It's real. There's just a genuine connection. And your mom, kind of, Tabitha, you were just talking about it, how Callie just has this way of knowing. And I just want to ask Callie, I don't know if you'll be able to articulate it to us who just are fascinated by this gift that you have. I know you were born with it. It's just in you. It's who you are. God created you this way. But is there, like, when you're filming something, or your mom's filming you, and you're giving a shout out, or you're encouraging, because that's what you're doing every day. You're encouraging people, spreading love, spreading joy. Is there something that you sense? Are you thinking about a certain person or people that are going through something in particular? Or are you just, what motivates you and inspires you when you're giving a message and you're on social media? What are you thinking, and how do you pick up on the things that people need? How do you see that?
Well, I always imagine the person that's on the other side of the screen, and you can tell when somebody's down and out by the way they put things in the Facebook chat box whenever you're on live. Like, when they're really happy, they put an exclamation point, or when they're sad, they just put a little dot, and you can just feel it. Like, I'm one of those that can literally see a text message and I literally hear the person in my mind talking to me.
Wow.
And it's like God says, okay, it's that person that needs this, or it's that person that needs that. And it's really about just talking the words that God puts in my mouth and just point blank coming out with it. And it's just, it's amazing of how many lives you're able to touch by doing that, just by like having no filter and by being able to speak the truth and just being able to say how you feel and everything. And there was this one woman who was trying to commit suicide. She had suicidal thoughts and had tried multiple times. And she said that by watching me, I was able to lift her up out of that dark spot and bring her back into the light and bring her back to a positive state of mind. And she decided that she wanted to stay, and she had the will and the strength to fight through her suicidal thoughts. That what I'm like, it's nothing that I've done. It's everything that God has done. And it just that was really one of the big breakthrough moments for me when I did realize I was making a difference, was that moment right there when that one lady said that God and I saved her life. And it was, I never will forget it. It was just, but I do imagine the person on the other side of the screen. And like I said, I can literally hear voices in my head talking to me whenever people text me or they comment on my stuff. I can tell whenever somebody needs help.
Yeah.
And I just try to do the best that I can to give them that help.
I've always said that, I feel so bad because when we're out and about or even alive, Callie will just, say something, or when we go in a store, I'll say, Callie, we're going in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. So, don't talk. Let's just get in and get what we need to get out. And then she will just see somebody and she'll say, I love your tattoo, or I love your shirt, or I love your hair, or I love your ring. And then it just goes into a conversation. And whenever we walk off, they will say, you don't know how much I needed that today.
Yeah.
And Callie's always, like she says, she's always listened to what God tells her to do, and she don't second guess it. She don't even, like, she just does it. Even when I tell her, we're in a hurry, and shame on me because, we may be passing somebody that really does need that smile, or that I love your tattoo, or, you never know what somebody's going through. And I get in a hurry, and she doesn't, it's just, if God lays something on her heart, it doesn't matter if we're in live or we're in person or who it is. If it was whoever, the highest, just whoever, it doesn't matter who it is, she's going to say what God lays on her heart. And I love that about her. And I love that she's taught me that, to slow down and to enjoy everything, enjoy going to the grocery store, enjoy going in to pay a bill, or going, whatever we're doing. It doesn't matter how big of a hurry you are. God will make that time if you just follow and do what he wants you to do. And she's taught me that, and she does do that. It doesn't matter where we are or who you are. If she feels led to talk to you or say something to you, then that's what she does. And, it does change people's lives. And the lady on live, or she wrote us a letter, and she said that day, literally, she was sitting there fixing to take her life. And she said, I was scrolling through Facebook, and she said, I came across Callie's page, and she said, I was sitting there knowing what I was about to do. And she said, the words that came out of her mouth was exactly what I needed to hear. And, we have a lot of craziness, a lot of, even sometimes my husband will say, it's just craziness. They don't want to see that craziness, or, don't show that, or don't show that. But it's life, it's life. And And the
We're
things
all
that,
real
yeah,
on
and
this
the
side.
things that she says and the things that she does may be crazy, and it may look crazy, and it may be something that, a lot of people don't want to see, but there's a lot of people that need that, the laughter and is it always that way? Yes, it is with Callie most of the time. She does have hard times, but for the most part, I can be just so negative, and I'm so concentrated on things that are happening and that is negative, and I want to just gripe about it or whatever. And then all of a sudden Callie comes in and she just, I mean, turns the whole situation into laughter and positive, and that's just who she is. And I don't mean to brag or anything like that, but it is just something that I can't explain, and she has something in her that I long to have,
Yeah, me
that
too.
I let the world and circumstances sort of just dampen that out. And I want to be that person where I just love life no matter what's going on, no matter the struggles, no matter the circumstances in life. And I see her, going to doctors and doing therapies and struggling and things that I necessarily take. I mean, I really take for granted that I see her struggle with, that she just takes pride and joy in it, and even if she does struggle with it, she finds a positive in it, and we laugh about it, like, the knee braces and
Yes.
the, putting her pants on with the knee braces and that type of stuff. She just loves life, and that's, and it doesn't matter, what she has to do, or the circumstances that we're in, or if we're in a hurry and she feels like somebody needs a word of encouragement, she's going to do it. And
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter if I say, Callie, we're in a hurry.
She's going to do it. I'm so grateful that you do. I'm so grateful that you hear from God,
Right,
because a lot of us hear from God and it doesn't necessarily mean we do it. But
right.
you are open to that. And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that you are. And I just think about it. It feels like your love is fearless too. That's another thing that I think about is if we could only love like you, and we're
Yeah.
learning so much from you. And I am one that, and I know I am not alone, that is so grateful that you share your lives with us, because it brings so much joy. I mean, from the big things to the little things, I'm definitely following you and just finding so much joy and warmth and
Thank you
inspiration
so
every
much.
single day. So thank you for doing that. And I know, Callie, that you say that you feel like your purpose is to encourage people and show them that they're worthy of love. You were telling me this when we talked before, that they're worthy of love
Mhm.
even when they're hurting. And I just want to know, if someone's listening right now and they're hurting and maybe they feel hopeless, or yeah, they're just unworthy, what would you say to them? What's one thing that you would say to them to encourage them and bring them happiness, joy in their life? What would you say?
First of all, I would tell them that God loves them. And second of all, I would tell them that they are worthy of love.
Mhm.
No matter what they've done, no matter where they've been, just that somebody's out there that cares about them and loves them and cares about how they feel and cares about what people does to them, because a lot of people feel like nobody cares anymore, and most of our world is hatred and anger and pain and suffering and sorrows and mourning. And I just, if you're listening and you're struggling, just know that I care about you and that I love you and that I care about what you do to yourself and what others do to you. When just know that God cares about you the most. And I can't always be there for you in person, but God can.
Mm.
And that you're going to make it. You're going to get through whatever you're going
That's right.
through, because God's always with you every step of the way. Even if you don't realize it,
Mhm.
He's always there for you, no matter what you're going through. And I'm here too. And and I would give you my phone number if I could.
She would.
I
I'm
would.
sure you would. Your mom is like, hold
She
on a
would.
minute, hold on a minute. You would do it.
In a heartbeat, she would.
I sure
In a
would. I
heartbeat.
don't care who the person is or where
Yeah.
they've been or what they've done. I would totally give them my phone number.
Yeah.
Well, I know that when they hear this, I know there's a person, I really believe that there's a person that will hear this that needed to hear what you just shared. I really believe that. So thank you for sharing that and just being open about that. It's so encouraging. You're such an encouragement.
Well,
And
thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely. I think that Williams syndrome is actually your superpower. I really do. I think
Me too.
it's something just, it's supernatural. The love that you have and the gift that you are, it is supernatural and it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And I want to talk about the True Love Foundation. I want to bring awareness. I want us to talk about how we can bring more awareness. I know that you're doing videos every day because it's Williams Syndrome Awareness Month. But you started this foundation to support other families. So you're giving back. You mentioned in the beginning you didn't have this support. And when you found your people, it meant so much to you. And I can relate to that because I have a type 1 diabetic son. And, for him, he felt so alone. And then there was a camp that he went to every summer. And it was his people, people that understood him, that were just like him. And so I know that the ways that you're able to give back and to bring awareness for people who maybe are just being diagnosed or they don't have any resources, they don't know what to do. And you're able to do that. And they can look at you and say, wow, this is something we can actually thrive in. There's the word. But
Right.
it doesn't have to be this diagnosis that makes you feel hopeless, that you actually have a superpower. And so I want to talk about that with you ladies. And I want to know what inspired you to do this work, to create this foundation, and tell us all about it. I want to know how this came to be.
It first started with the film. After I did my film and after it was over and everything, I'm like, I gotta do something
Keep
else.
going. Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
And so I decided to start the Truelove Foundation. And it's just been amazing. So and the reason why it started with the film is because we saw struggling families whenever we did the film, and we saw people in need, and we saw parents who were struggling and felt like they had no one to talk to,
Yeah.
had no hope whatsoever. And I just wanted to start something else that we could start giving back to my community who gave so much to me. And actually, I went to a Williams syndrome convention here recently, not too many years ago. And I learned so much about Williams syndrome from those meetings and going to all the conferences and everything. Because I'm one that likes to learn. And so I went with my parents to all the conferences. And I said, okay, Lord, I want your will to be done with this. And we have been able to do so much for so many people ever since we first started. And my hope and prayer is that we will grow and prosper, and not just for Williams syndrome people, but for any person, like a homeless person or somebody with a different disability. Not just about Williams syndrome. It's about everybody, and it's about giving everybody one little piece of hope. And that's what I strive for. That's what I live for. Is giving the hopeless hope.
There you go.
And figuring out ways to provide for people who has provided for me and who has took risk in life and who has had to sacrifice to be able to provide for me. I want to get back to them. And so
It's beautiful.
that's what really gave me motivation to start the film, is seeing what we saw during the film.
Yeah.
Like Danica's story, that's the one that really got me wanting to do the film and everything. So
yeah, Callie has always wanted to help people and give back. And so we on our journey, we realized that this was something that we wanted to do and to help, because we were all alone whenever we found out Callie had Williams syndrome. And even, there's families out there that, their children are older and they've just got a diagnosis. And then there's some that are being born that have the heart conditions, and they're looking, and they're being tested for the Williams syndrome. And, I remember the feeling of feeling all alone and not knowing, where to start, what to do, where to go, to get, answers that we needed. And so the Truelove Foundation helps other individuals, and families with Williams syndrome, and that they are, we did a three-wheel bike because they have balance problems and spatial awareness and all. And she had siblings that all rode bicycles and would get out and play and ride bicycles and stuff. And so we got her three-wheel bike, and now she's able to ride her bike. And we did, like she said, Williams syndrome individuals love music. So we did a set of drums to a little boy, and then and did music lessons music therapy for him. We did trips to Dollywood because that's one of the places Callie loves, and she wanted to share the experience with one of the little girls that lived in that area. And so we did Dollywood, and Callie loves Dolly Parton. She's always looked up to Dolly Parton. And so that's our family. Yes, that's our family
I love
place to go. That's our favorite. We've been taking all of our kids for years to Dollywood, even our youngest. And then we went as a couple before we had kids. And then now we took all of our kids, and now we're taking our grandkids. And anyway, so we went there, and then we just recently did Armani, and his story just blessed our heart. And so we went to see him in Mississippi, and we took some therapy equipment to him, and he loves outside. So we took a water table and some therapy equipment, a trampoline that had therapy stuff on it. And just seeing him, his story is a lot like Callie's. He was, they had put him on hospice, and he was put on hospice, and, just basically what they told us, just take him home and, just live every minute. And so he started, I want to say thriving, with, just the love, it's amazing. Honestly, I have to say this, that just loving somebody and just giving them that love can make a world of difference in how they thrive, how they just live life. And so with the love that he was given, he started thriving. And so she decided she wanted to take him off hospice, and he wasn't walking or anything. And now he's walking, and he's enjoying his little trampoline, and climbing up his therapy stuff. And, that's what it's about, helping these families, not only with, the equipment that they need, or it's about giving the families, just like the little girl we took two girls to Dollywood. And the one time that we took one of the girls, we had Clancy from the film with us, we had Callie, and then the other little girl that we met, that we had all of them together, and they went as a group. And what a blessing that was. And just giving them time to just be, and I hate to say normal, but just be themselves and just have fun. And, their lives are filled with therapies, doctor's appointments, the unknowns, and not only the individual, but the families. And so giving them a time that they can just go and not have to worry about anything and just have fun. And then giving them the relief of like music therapy, that it helps them, the music helps them, the therapies help them, camps where they can go and go to these camps and just be themselves and have fun. And not only that, is the resources for the families, also finding resources that they need help with, and to point them in the right directions of, I had one lady before we ever started the foundation. I got in touch with a lady that her daughter was just recently diagnosed with Williams syndrome, and she was very upset. I think she was looking at the future of what she thought her daughter would be. And then it hit her that this may never be. And she was just going through a hard time at that time. She was just newly diagnosed, and And I told her, I said, it's hard right now, but she will be the biggest blessing in your life that you will ever receive. And she sort of got like mad at me because she didn't understand at that moment. And I understand that because it is a lot. And you're hit with so much at that moment that you go through all these emotions. And her mother said to me, how can you say that? How can you say that when my daughter's not going to do this and she's not going to do that? And I said, don't look at that. Don't look at what they're saying they're not going to do, or that this is how they're going to be, or they're never going to do this. Because if you do that, you're letting that diagnosis label you, and you don't want to look at that. Years later, we wound up at a walk together, and she came up to me and she was crying and she said, I have to apologize to you. She said, you were right.
Wow.
She said, she's the biggest blessing that I've ever received. And so, just given that hope and it's not false hope, it's hope that, just because that this is what they say doesn't mean that's what it's going to be. Let them be who they're going to be. Let them thrive.
Yeah.
Let them be who they're going to be. They may do it differently. They may, and listen, they may not ever do something that the world does or somebody else does. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be who that God made them to be. And they can do, just like Callie touching people, I could never touch in a lifetime. And the things that she's done, I could have never done because God did not make me to do that. He made her. And to see her thrive. I mean, not just survive, to thrive and to do these things. And I just want to give hope to other families and to, the individuals that, and we want to, at the Truelove Foundation, we want to help them with that and to give them the resources, give them the things that they, you're caught up trying to pay for therapies, trying to get them in the doctors that, that you have to pay, and the things that you want them to help them, the therapy equipment, all those things, vision therapy, the music therapies, all the water therapies, all those things parents have to come out of pocket for. Also the travel to those. And so just help them, just help the families to have the experiences that as a family to go and just, if it's Dollywood or wherever on a camping trip, wherever, that they can just go and be a family and not have to worry about those things. And then helping them also with things that they can, the therapies and the resources and that type of stuff. So yeah,
it's incredible,
extraordinary, and amazing.
Yes, it is.
I would say so. You actually just answered. I was going to ask you a question, Callie, about that. And then I want to ask how people can support, because I know people are wanting to know how they can support your foundation. But I do want to ask you this, Callie, what do you wish people knew about people that have Williams syndrome, or maybe there's a misconception? What's something that you want people to know about you and others who have Williams syndrome?
Well, the main thing is that people need to realize that we're just like everybody else.
That's right.
Except we have a little bit more love.
You have superpowers that we don't.
That's right.
That's what it is. Yeah, I love that. So how can people get more involved with your foundation and support you?
Well, like everything else, it takes money to grant these doses of true love that we are given. And if they would like to support, every penny of money that is taken up, every cent goes to helping other families with Williams syndrome and individuals with Williams syndrome. So you can go to www.thetruelovefoundation.com, and there's a donation thing there, and then just help us spread about the Truelove Foundation and help us spread awareness about Williams syndrome, because it's not only is it important that we give these doses of true love, but it's also bringing awareness to Williams syndrome, because it is rare, and a lot of doctors teachers, they learn different, and there's different things that will help them learn. The doctors don't know a lot about it, or our doctors didn't. There is doctors that do, but just bringing awareness that, and there's families out there that I've recently come in contact with that their children have, and one in the film, that their child had been tested for everything else but Williams syndrome. And so, they may see this, and just like Ariana's mom, that she saw a little boy online and saw his facial features and was like, oh my gosh, this looks just like my daughter.
Yeah.
And that's how she literally diagnosed her daughter, from seeing a picture, and she had been tested for all kind of stuff.
From Google.
Yeah, she did. She diagnosed her from Google. So,
Wow. Yeah.
it's just bringing awareness and just, spread, about the film, spread about the foundation, help us spread awareness about Williams syndrome. And,
Yes.
so yeah. So, and there's also, we have merchandise that they can, all of that, the sales from the merchandise, all of it, every penny goes to the Williams syndrome, not Williams syndrome, the Truelove Foundation. And it helps us to give back to these families.
I can't wait to have some merch.
Yeah.
This
We'll
winter,
send you some merch.
This
I want
winter,
some. I'm gonna get
this winter, we're gonna be adding sweatsuits.
Yeah.
to the-
Kelly,
You
wants to-
are?
sweatshirt.
Yay! I can't wait. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see them. That's
sure.
so
And-
exciting.
And let me just say too, it's not about, I don't ever want anybody to think that we're centering Callie into and all that, or making all of this about Callie. It's not about that. It's about bringing awareness and helping other families and getting out there. And more than that, it's about spreading the love that Callie has in her, that, the world needs. I really believe that the world needs that, the love and the encouragement and the positivity that Callie has in her. And not that I'm making it all about her, but I do believe with every bit of my being. I told the producers this when they reached out to us. I don't ever want anybody to think that we're just all about Callie, but I do believe with every bit of my being that God has put something in her that the world needs. And I believe that, I want to help her share that in her and do what she's called to do. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving her the opportunity to do this podcast and to share her love that she has.
It is such an honor. It is my honor to have
Thank
you
you
both
so
on
much.
here. And it's very evident. It is very evident that she has unique gifts and that she's
Thank
put
you.
on this earth for all of this. And so I'm grateful that you're giving her the platforms and the resources to be able to do that.
Thank you so much. Dolly's right here.
I want to see. Let's see Dolly.
Oh, she heard you.
Oh, Dolly, there she is.
Yeah, she's not gonna get it. Look,
Gonna get all
right
that.
here.
Aw. Oh my
Right
God.
there.
So
Yeah.
sweet. Look at that girl.
I think she senses all of us being nervous, and she's like, she's halfway in my lap and halfway. Oh, there we go.
There
Oh,
she is.
oh, there we go. There we go.
I
There
had
she
to-
is in all her glory.
There she is. She's a beauty. I love Dolly. You got to meet my two doodles. We share in that. I have two doodles and you have her, but I
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
Tex and Finn out, so they aren't going to
Yeah.
come crash the party because they would. But I just have a couple more questions for you
Okay.
ladies. One is that, Callie, I remember our talk and you blew me away because you were talking about legacy. And you and I both have a birthday coming up next month, but you're much younger than I am. And you already are thinking about legacy. And I want to know, which is just, it's incredible that you think that way. But I want to know, what do you want your legacy to be? So what do you want people to remember about you?
I want people to remember me as a loving person and as somebody who cared. And I just want people to, I don't know, just remember me as a person who made a difference in the world, even if it was just one person. It doesn't, I'm not going to be able to change everybody's life, but I feel like that if I just try to put my best foot forward and try, that's all that matters. And I just don't want people to miss me because I'll be in a better place. But I want people to have the remember me as not an amazing person, but as a good person, and know that just because I'm not here anymore doesn't mean I'm gone forever. I'll still be with you. And like I said, my other service dog passed away from cancer, and he still comes to visit all the time. So, I want people to remember me like that, as a good person who just try our best to make a difference. And I know that my family will take over very well whenever I'm gone.
You're definitely all that and more. So
Thank you
absolutely.
so much.
It's a beautiful legacy. Okay, last question is for both of you ladies, and this is something that I ask every guest that comes on the show. I want to know, and I already know that you're not just surviving, you are thriving. You're the definition of thriving. But I want to know, and listeners want to know, what does thriving mean to you?
Oh my gosh, Mom, you go first.
Thriving means just enjoying, I really believe, is fulfilling what's in your heart and doing what you're called to do and not holding back, doing it and enjoying every minute of it, and not letting circumstances or people or a disability hold you back. Just do what you are called to do and love doing it, and doing it to the best of your ability, and just not holding back. Just do it. Just not holding back, just do it, and doing it to the best of your ability.
I totally agree with that. And thriving to me is just trying my best to be pleasing to the Lord every day and my parents, and always doing what God would call me to do. And this little one right here, being a good mother for her. And I also asked her cats, are you looking down in the camera? Can you point it down a little bit?
She is looking straight in the camera.
Look. Say hey.
Hey, Dolly. Hi, Dolly. Hi, sweet girl.
This is my service dog, Dolly Star, my best friend, my partner in crime, my ride or die, my sweetheart, my pretty little baby. She just means the world to me. I love her so much. I can't imagine my life without her. She gives me a purpose. When I lost my purpose, she gave it back to me.
She did. That's right.
In so many more ways than I can even explain. And she's been the best part of my life. Just being able to have her and be a mother to her, and to be able to be there for not only her, but I also have a kitten too. That's
I know.
That's been with me for a whole month.
You're a good mother to them.
Thank you.
They're loved well.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, ladies, it has been pure joy. Literally. I mean that. Thank you so much for being here on the THRIVERY podcast, and just for sharing, opening up your world, your hearts, for people to get to know you better, to get to see you better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing us to be.
We hope we did this podcast justice.
You're going to make this podcast more than it's ever been.
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and have this conversation. We talked about meeting in person, so next time we're going to have to do that so I can squeeze you. We'll do something fun, but oh, I can't wait. But thank you for being on. And I want to just, one last thing, I want to give all of the listeners ways to reach you, to connect with you, because you're going to want to be on this journey with Callie. You're going to want to see her do all the things that she does, spreading joy, and her mom right there beside her. So I want them to know that your Instagram is a.dose.of.truelove, right?
Yes.
They can find you there on Instagram, and TikTok is a dose of true love, right?
Yes.
And then also I want to reiterate that they can donate to the True Love Foundation at www.thetruelovefoundation.com. And is there anything else that I'm forgetting that they can reach you?
She has Facebook. Her Facebook is A Look Into Callie's Heart.
That's right. Yep.
And she has YouTube, is Callie Truelove.
Perfect. Well, everyone go check it out, connect with her, just get involved in her life. You're going to love just seeing how she spreads so much love and joy.
And
Thank you.
there's also an email on the Facebook page. There's an email that they can contact Callie, and she can take or email them back. She'll talk to them.
Oh, you do cameos too, right?
She does do cameo.
I do.
Okay. And is that how you do it? They want to get in touch with you? They find that email on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That will be such a treat. I know they'll want to do that. Well, thank you so much, ladies. I love you to pieces. This has been so good. Thank you for joining us on the THRIVERY Podcast. I hope this discussion inspired you in your pursuit of elevated living. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow us, click the share button and send to friends, and also tag us in your socials. For more information and to stay connected, visit our website at thrivery.life. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you next time.